So what good is the market model? Well, supply and demand allows us to find where the price will be in a market. All we have to do is to find where demand and supply are equal. At this point, it is said that the market clears. And by that, what we mean is that there's no leftovers and there's no people waiting in line after the fact. Where demand equals supply, we have what's called the equilibrium. The equilibrium is a point from which there is no incentive to move. Nobody will be made better off by moving from this spot. If the price goes up, the seller is happy, of course, because they get a higher price, but the buyer is not. If you remember, the law of supply says that as the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up. So it might at first seem like, well, if the price were higher, this would be a good thing for the market. But remember that there's the law of demand. And the law of demand says that as price goes up, the quantity demanded goes down. So what happens is that at higher prices, demand and supply are not equal to each other. That's what we see in this graph. We see that when the price is above equilibrium, the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded. When that's the case, we say that we have a surplus. There is more product in the market than there are people willing to buy it. The only way to get rid of a surplus is for the price to come down. If the price comes down, then buyers will buy more, sellers will provide less, and that surplus will get smaller and smaller until it no longer exists, where demand equals supply. Now you may say to yourself, well, I'm a buyer, I would love for prices to be lower. Well, if prices are lower, that is indeed a good thing for the buyer. As the price goes down, the quantity demanded goes up. But remember, there's a flip side to this. As the price goes down, the quantity supplied also goes down. And if the price is below equilibrium, what we see is that there is a much greater quantity demanded than there is quantity supplied. And what we end up with is a situation where there are people who want the product who can't get it because the producers are not willing and able to provide at that lower price. This is sometimes referred to as a shortage. This is what happens when people have to wait in line for, say, Penguin playoff tickets, or when people wait in line for a new product at Christmas time that doesn't come out on the market. There's not enough of the product on the market, so people wait in line, or they go on eBay and they pay much inflated prices. And that's the way you get rid of the shortage. If you want there to be no shortage, you need to reduce the amount that people want to buy and increase the amount that people want to supply. And the only way that that can happen is if price goes up. So when we're in a market, the outcome of the market is referred to as efficient when it is the market's allowed to settle at the equilibrium. It may not seem fair, it may not seem equitable, but that's not the objective of the market, to be equitable. The objective of the market is to allocate resources, to allocate products to the people who value them the most based on their willingness and ability to pay. Markets get criticized for not being equitable, but remember, that's not the objective of the market. The market is designed to enhance efficiency.